Hello and welcome back everybody to Let's Play Total War Attila Age of Charlemagne as the Emirate of Cordoba. The audio for this episode and the next one, I'm afraid, are going to be recorded externally, or after the actual gameplay has been recorded. Basically recorded separately is what I'm trying to get at. This is the Battle of Oviedo, and Oviedo is the last settlement in Iberia, the last Christian settlement in Iberia, the last free Christian settlement, that is. The last stand of the Christians here, and they have a huge army defending it, and the entire episode is going to be the Siege of Oviedo. I did say that I was going to get a new microphone, and I realise that I said this, and I realised that I mentioned this in the previous weekly gaming update, but I realised some of you don't watch that. So basically what's going on is the microphone is here. It's next to me right now, but I need an adapter for it, which I should have mentioned. So yeah, I didn't get an adapter for it. It won't work without an adapter, so it's going to take a couple of more days to get that, but, you know, other than that, it's all completely fine. Okay, we're actually loading into the battle right now, as you can see. The enemy army is pretty heavily depleted, but, oh well, basically. And I'm going to make a cut in a couple of minutes. Actually, later down the video, there's going to be a cut where I go and change the graphics options because I want frame rate, and it's very important that we win this. Sorry, it's very important that we actually win this battle. So quality of our troops and just how well they look doesn't exactly matter too much. Thing is, I'm a bit worried I'm not going to have what to say in this video, because when you're doing live gameplay and commentary, you sort of drag things on a little bit, and you're sort of talking about what's happening at the screen right then and there. Right now, I know what's going to happen, and it's a bit weird to be doing this, especially on Let's Plays. You tend to just sort of never record it like this. But oh well. I'm going to wait here, by the way, for dry weather conditions, because I'd much rather attack when it's dry rather than raining. There's no reason to attack when it's raining. I have missile superiority, I have troop superiority, I have siege engine. Well, I have some basic ladders and siege towers, but still, like, a clean, simple weather is beneficial to me. So, I'm taking a look here at the city itself. The city of Oviedo has been besieged 3 times, I think, in 3 different battles. Changed hands, and the city is devastated, okay? The west end of the city, which is what we're looking at right now, and the centre there are okay. That's right here, what you're seeing is the east end. Most armies attacked it from the east, so the east end is completely okay. Sorry, the east end is completely ravaged and destroyed, while the west end, you're looking at it here, is just, you know, is very much untouched. However, the east end, you're looking at it here, is decimated. Absolutely decimated. And this is by far my favourite change in the game thus far. Well, in the Total War series thus far. Settlements being damaged like this, I absolutely love to see the effects of a siege like that. I think is absolutely amazing, and I love it. So I'm gonna start here by deploying our troops, and I'm not going to be using all of our siege equipment because we don't realistically need all of it. Especially we especially don't need 2 battering rams. But oh well, we have them, so might as well. Yeah, why not have them? But we're not going to use them. There is an opening on the wall in the wall. Sorry. And you might say, why don't you pour everything there? Well, I'm a bit skeptical of their missile infantry at this stage, and their archers and stuff sort of peppering my huge block of tightly packed infantry with arrows. So I want to deploy a lot of troops on the walls, take care of those skirmishes, and then sort of surround the enemy's levy, spear levy, and then sort of crush them like that, because I have enemy... well, I don't have enemy superiority, which is nearly what I said. I have troop quality superiority as well as numbers and morale. So, the battle is going to begin anytime... Well, it's going to begin soon, I hope. I'm debating what I should put. Well, I'm debating in my mind right now because, well, the audio I recorded was very, very not functional. Why? Why was it not good? I had the wrong microphone plugged in. Yes, I did. I had the good one plugged in, but the good one that doesn't work. So it doesn't not work in the sense of it doesn't reproduce or record sound at all. It just records sound so badly. It is like 50 times worse than what you're hearing right now. When I get an adapter, it is going to be a billion times better. It should be like crystal clear. It should be. I'm making a bloody studio, which is something I really wanted to mention in this discussion pre-battle. I'm essentially making a studio out of my room. I have sound foam, I have like an entire rig for the microphone itself, like a pop filter, a sponge thing that goes on top of the on the microphone itself to reduce background noise. I am making an actual studio out of this room, and I just need that tiny little adapter, which is like a piece of plastic with on one end it's a USB, on the other it's a audio jacket. So just waiting for that final part, and I will do like a room tour and show you my rig and everything, because people have asked me to, which is probably something I'm going to mention in a couple of other videos, because, you know, some people watch this Let's Play series, some don't, some watch weeklies, some don't, and, you know, it's just worth mentioning, I feel like. Anyways, I'm going with 2 siege towers, 3 ladders on the right, 2 siege towers, 2 ladders on the left. There's more wall on the right, like there is more wall on the right. You know what I mean, right? There's more. Well, there is more wall on the. There's more troops. There's probably going to be more troops on the walls to the right, so we should have more infantry over there. Archers going to be very important. The enemy have spearmen, light spearmen, and skirmishers. I have actual archers, so, you know, better range, better accuracy, and arguably better damage over a longer period of time. So, as I unprofessionally take a sip of water, I believe we may begin the battle any day now. And it's very, like, it's weird for me. I'm looking at this, and I'm basically looking at my past self from about an hour ago. I'm very close to arguing with my past self, going, "Come on, you idiot! Just go do it." Let's take a look at how the enemy is organised. Well, they aren't organised very well, but I guess it's standard. Their barricade placement was poor, by the way. I really disliked it. They forced me into an open area in the city. You don't want to fight a bigger army there. You want to fight them in closed quarters. Like, you want to fight them where their numbers won't mean a lot. But this was a difficult fight. This was a challenging fight, but it wasn't one that I was going to lose. So I sort of I'm going into the battle with that sort of confidence. I'm not going to lose this. I may lose troops. It may be challenging, but I personally don't see it as something that might that might defeat me, or, you know, I don't see the enemy army defeating me, if that makes any sense. Turns out there's no place for all these ladders that I have, so we're gonna have to use gonna have to basically shuffle around the formation a little bit. And something else I wanted to mention. I did orchestrate this ending of independent Iberia, or independent nations within Iberia other than Cordoba. As it's very symbolic, this battle, okay? It's a big battle, it's an important battle, yes, but it's also very symbolic, being the last city, so I did orchestrate it a little bit to be more exciting and thrilling than it rightfully should be, because I have 3 armies in the back of this, and I'm not using them because I wanted to make this fight a little bit more exciting, and I think here somewhere is where I'm going to do the cut and improve the graphics, and there we go, there it was. The graphic, well, I say improve the graphics, no, improve the frame rate, the graphics are worse. I know the game looks pretty shitty, and not even the frame rate isn't even that good, but we need it. I need to win. Like, I need playable frame rate, which is around 30 to 25 to 30 FPS. I want to play at 50, but, you know, I want to play at 60 or to 50, but we don't always get what we want, so it's acceptable. The game looks pretty nice as well. You don't really pay attention that much to individual units fighting and the shadows and everything. We just sort of pay attention to me winning. I'm gonna get the graphics back to where they should be later. I really am. I'm gonna get them to you know, what they should be like. But until then, we have this. Okay? Because there's 2 huge armies. Well, technically there's 3 armies, one of which is pretty small, but it's a huge amount of troops, so the game is sort of taking a crap on itself, so I needed to lower the graphics. Anyways, as I was saying, I might have on purpose sort of orchestrated this, but there's reason behind my madness. I just can't see it yet. No, that's yes, this is the second time I'm making that joke today. It feels weird doing audio separately again because I've already recorded this, and like surprisingly, most of what I'm saying has already been said. I remember it. I said it a couple of hours ago. I'm just reproducing my speech that I already have given. Oh dear. Let's try and not pay attention to that. There is reason behind what I'm doing. It's not a disadvantage to not use the armies because they can do other things. Namely, as you'll see later on in the video, we can use one of them to get them back to the capital or near the capital. Get them to our recruitment center, get them some more troops, get them upgrades, and then roll them out into France, basically, into the west, right? The other ones can stay back and keep peace, or they can move in west, again, if we need to. So here what I'm doing is I'm essentially forming a wall so that my archers won't get attacked by their melee troops. If their melee troops decide to move forward and engage my infantry that I'm showing right there, with the mouse, as you can see. If you're just listening to this, they're left of the breach in the wall. If they decide to flank my infantry there, it's fine because I have troop superiority. It's the heaviest, my best troops are there. It's the Andalusian infantry, and they'll have archer support. Basically, the enemy will surround themselves if they move in and try and flank me. It'll be like a like an L shape that they'll have to fight. So attack from 2 sides. I will be able to defeat them. And the archers will be supporting me as well. So it's one of those not so common opportunities where we get to use the shield wall and the spear wall of our melee troops, and we're beginning to fire on the enemy with our archers, inflicting heavy casualties on them. They have light troops, they have light levies, and you can see their shields, as you saw there. If you're not just listening to this, they have small round shields. They look cool, they really do, but the game disagrees. They're very bad. Now, they tried here with fire arrows to disable one of my siege towers. That doesn't do anything. They killed, like, I think 10 Andalusians and 20-ish Berber spearmen, which is just, you know, it's nothing, basically. So we begin storming the walls, and here the frame rate just tanks, absolutely. I think this got patched since I recorded. This, which is, I think there was a mini patch after I ended recording, and I think they fixed it, but not completely sure, because when the siege ramp goes down, the frame rate just takes a piss on itself. Usually it's okay, but just in that instance. They're going to destroy the battering ram here, but that doesn't exactly matter, because they're not going to do it before we take down their gate. And we can disband the shield wall and spear wall right now and move our main, well, not our main, but our sort of units that are protecting our archers forward, because they have nothing left to protect. The archers aren't gone, they just can't get hurt, because all the fighting is now on the streets and on the walls. And there we go, we just opened up the gate. And we have troops pouring into the city. The archers are doing an amazing job. I'm just going to move them up here. And I feel like there is not much smart, not much that I can say that's actually smart. So we have our infantry pouring here. The left is doing great because there's practically nobody to oppose them. But the right isn't doing so phenomenally, and I'm not exactly paying attention. I'm getting a bit of tunnel vision here. The right isn't doing that great. So I'm thinking about, again, forming a wall of spears and shields here. I don't need to, because I can just pour in with more men from the side and just obliterate the enemy's first line of defense here, with a flanking maneuver as well, and, you know, sheer numbers. Here's the right flank. The enemy positioned their best troops on the right, and fortunately I had more men on the right end than I had on the left, so they're holding out pretty good while I'm winning on the left. So my plan is to win on the left end of the wall, or sort of the left half of the settlement, and then transfer all my men over to the right and beat them, and then we'll just march on into the plaza, I suppose, and the town centre. Which is kind of what's going to happen, although we're going to beat the ones on the right pretty much before we get to move in the reinforcements from the left. Again, better numbers, also superior numbers and better quality. Yeah. Looking at what else is happening as I very unprofessionally move this microphone slightly closer to my mouth, because I want to lean back and watch what I've done. The upside of this is, I suppose, is I'm very relaxed and just focused on the commentary, and I'm not focusing on the gameplay, so I may see some things that I've missed while actually playing. Well, as you can see, the right flank is breaking. That's their best troops, and I think here is where all hope of defending the settlement is lost. Their archers basically just foobarred themselves because they put themselves in a position where they can't run away. I'm just going to move my archers into the main city as well, because I want them to fire at all sorts of enemies everywhere in the city itself. As you know, with the entire front line is moving towards the plaza itself, so we need to sort of move our troops accordingly. And I actually should have moved in my cavalry right now, but I'm going to be slightly late with that for like a couple of minutes, I believe. But there's a great big hole in the wall and the gates open. The cavalry should be moving in right now. It's not because I'm being lazy, let's be honest. I'm gonna need a sip of water again. I've been talking basically non-stop for 2 hours. It's difficult. And the thing is, only 20 minutes of those, 18 minutes of those 2 hours are actually going to be recorded, so it's a bit of a bummer, but hey. And now his voice went deeper because his throat started to hurt. Lovely. Oh well. I'm sort of, this is then turning into a Zerg, isn't it? It really is. It's turning into a Zerg rush almost. If you take a look at it, what's going on is I'm just pouring in troops to the center. There's no tactic behind this. There can't be a tactic because the other street is walled off with a barricade. I could break it, but they have skirmish troops behind it. It's unnecessary sacrifices. So I'm just going down what is basically the main street, and cavalry's on the front line now as well. They've charged in. There's plenty of enemy missile troops, which got me thinking, hold on, cavalry's going to have an easy time killing all of them, and well, they did. So yeah, it was great. Great fun. It was a really fun battle, I think, above everything else. It was a very, very fun battle to do. The cavalry maneuver there was very satisfying, and despite it not being the most difficult battle I've ever had, it was very fun, and ultimately that's what we're here for, isn't it? So not for a moment do I regret not using a different strategy, or using more troops, or attacking from two sides or something like that. No, it was very fun to do it like this. So I guess the heavy infantry can, I guess, just move on into the town centre now, because the enemy is just fleeing. There's just too few of them. The siege itself, or well, actually the sieges, plural, have absolutely drained them. They have nothing left. Their men are very weak, they're very tired, and they have so few men in actual, like, platoons, or sorry, it's not platoons, completely wrong, completely wrong terminology. In a block of infantry has actually so few men, it's like, each of their blocks is 40 to 30% of its original strength, which is very, very bad for morale, so there we go. Now, moving in from two sides into the actual town plaza itself, and we're approaching the end of the battle. There's just a couple of archers there, or was it? Yeah, it was archers, I think. Basically doing some mop-up work. Some infantry on the left, like all the way out, nearly exiting the city at the other gate. We're killing them, and a huge amount of our troops has just flooded the town centre. And there we go. We killed their general as well, and there we go. The battle has ended in a decisive victory. I actually can't see what that text says because I'm watching this on a very small window. I should have maximized it, but oh well. We've lost very few troops, and the entirety of their 2020 army has been decimated. Actually, it's been worse than decimated. It's just gone. Like, it's just been obliterated entirely, and the city is ours. The last city in Iberia falls under our command. A symbolic victory, but very important as well. We now have a very small front to focus all our troops at, and now I'm thinking of what to do with the city, because I'm thinking a little bit of role playing. We've occupied all of our settlements peacefully, right? Because it's something that we wanted to do, and in the long run, it's probably the best thing. But I'm thinking this is the last city, right? We should let our troops have fun, and that is what historically was done as well. If a leader decides that his troops were, particularly good, or it's a very, very difficult and important victory, he would let them have fun in the city for a couple of days where they could do whatever the hell they want. It wasn't very common because, it's not every day you take a huge city and a hugely important city, but I feel like this was important enough because it basically finalizes our conquest of Iberia. So I decided to loot the city, and the buildings are completely, the city itself is a ruin. Let's be honest, it's an absolute ruin, but to avoid rebellion, we have to keep our army in there, and they'll be retrained within a few turns. Now, our general leveled up, which makes sense. He did fight a very important battle. I wanted to get him the legend trait. As you can see, I'm mousing over right there. It gives a whole bunch of statistical benefits and bonuses, and I'm just sort of I wanted to check how to do that. Do I need a certain amount of points before I can get to it, or do I need to have everything that's linked to legend? And it turns out I need to have everything that's linked to legend, so I realise that now, and there we go. His next level up, next time he levels up, he's going to get the legend skill, I suppose. Or his skill points will be spent in the legend. I want to call it a perk, but the game never actually calls it a perk, so you know what I mean, though. Trained, kind of. I'm working off of Rome 1, Total War, and going back to that era and trying to remember how they call them there. But yeah. The other army, I believe this is the Scourge of the Abbasids, yes it is. They leveled up the army, not the general. They gained tradition, so I picked these two, basically for heavy infantry. The army's pretty keen on heavy infantry, and so am I personally as a player. So, it basically just makes the entire army a little bit better. So there we go. I'm looking at Barcelona and thinking that's probably going to be a war that's going to have to happen eventually, but the rebel city to the north of of this position that we're looking at right now. That rebel city in France is something that we can take without anyone saying, "Oi, you should do that," or basically having anything against us. So the warriors of Tawhid are going to move in right now, and the other ones, the messengers, are going to go south to get more troops. So yeah, the warriors of Tawhid are going to that settlement that we mentioned to take it over from the rebels, and it's going to be the first settlement that we take over that that is in I guess West Europe. So I'm just going to spend some money because I want to set up everything for convenience sake, that I can just when I return the game next time in the next episode, I can just hit end turn and pick off from there, which means we need to spend some of our money. Our economy is doing pretty damn well, and in my mind I'm thinking about recruiting another army, but I'm going to do that next episode. So right now I'm just going to spend this 1,000 somewhere. I'm just looking for something to build. A mine that doesn't actually give us that much money and gives us 2 additional unrest, so I'm thinking it's not exactly worth it to upgrade it. Let's try something better if we can find it, and eventually I'll get to a city somewhere in the south of the country. I don't remember which one exactly I picked, but there was one that could develop more land and build something. I just need to find it. Come on, Juggernaut, don't be stupid. Where is it? No, it's not. You already clicked there, you idiot. I'm arguing with my past self. It's amazing. There we go. There it is. And I'm going to build... What did I build there? A trading post, I think. Because the situation with the food is okay, as you can see there. They have 39 food, so they can build something else. And they need growth, because they have 0 settlers, so I'm thinking, why not? And there we go. That's what I built, and I think this is where we pretty much end the video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please remember to like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, my name has been Juggernaut, and I bid you all farewell. Of course, take care, and I hope I'll see you next time. There we go. That was pretty much it. Bye-bye.